The Turkey Hill Truck Series Season number 8 continues on as we head to the home of the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, the Charlotte Motor Speedway in Concord, North Carolina. We are here on a Friday night for the NR2003 here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. Hello everybody, this is AG here and welcome to the Charlotte Motor Speedway in Concord, North Carolina as we are here for the NR2003. 34 laps of action around this mile-and-a-half racetrack in the backyard of NASCAR, and tonight it's going to be a very interesting race. It's a short race, but we're going to see a cycle of pit stops, and that could very well be a very pivotal point of this event here tonight. It is a very difficult pit lane to come into here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, so we'll have to see how well these guys manage coming down this very tight pit lane. That's been a bit of an issue this entire season. Bristol, Texas World especially, both of those tracks saw a lot of pit road issues. We could see more of that here tonight. But either way, it's a mile-and-a-half racetrack. These guys are going to be going really fast, and we're really going to be seeing the strongest drivers of the season up front in this race. Mainly, drivers started on the pole. Noah Clifton, Ryan Kinghart starting up front in this event as well. And also got Nathan Stapleton starting inside the top 10 too. But our last winner, Laura Chung, starts 20th, so they're really starting all over the place here tonight for this race. But we'll have to see how it all goes down after 34 laps. In the points standings coming into this event, Sebastian Kukulon is your new points leader. And he's got an 18-point lead after Eric Drew had his issue on the pit lane last week at Texas World. And then right behind this guy is 19 points behind is Ethan Lewis. Not Eric Lewis. Ethan Lewis. Eric Drew is right above Ethan Lewis, and they both start with E. Noah Clifton, our pole sitter, is 20 points behind. Then the Texas winner, Allison Rain, the highest driver in the point standings with the race victory. She's 21 points behind. Laura Chung, our last winner, 22 points behind. Nathan Stapleton there, 35 points behind as well. All 7 of those guys with a mathematical chance of taking the points lead at the end of tonight's event. But like I said, starting on the pole position here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway, the driver, the number 24, Noah Clifton, with his first pole of the season. Led in the points earlier on in the season, fell back just a little bit, but he's still right up there inside the top 5, and a great opportunity for him to maybe take the points lead here tonight. Alongside him is Derek Hamill in the number 7 machine. Great steering position for the driver, the number 7 right there. Ryan Kinghart in the 98's been up front in most of these races this season, but has wrecked out in the past 2 events. He's hoping that does not happen here today, and he goes to victory lane alongside the 45 there of Brad Stover. Almost won at the Texas Motor Speedway, but lost out late in the going to Allison Rain. Memphis Fisher to the inside of John Andrews. Best starting position I believe Andrews has had all season. You got Will Parrish there to the inside of Nathan Stapleton in row number 4. Ethan Lewis to the inside of Josh Williamson. Williamson could very well use a great run here tonight in this 34-lap event at the Charlotte Motor Speedway as he sits deep in the points here coming into the 7th race of the season. Everybody is rolling off all right. You see the rest of the starting lineup there on the side of your screen. The NR2003 here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series season number 8. These 36 drivers are ready. About a 20-lap fuel run here tonight. We could see a caution before that comes into effect. Noah Clifton and Derek Hamill on the front row. The pace truck is down the pit lane, and we are underway at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Well, Ryan Kinghart's going to get right out to the race lead lap number 1 here at Charlotte. A bonus point towards the championship for him, and he wants to get out and clear this field so he does not get caught up in another accident. Derek Hamill slipping up there in the number 7 machine. He's already 3 wide, and like I mentioned in qualifying yesterday, I think we're going to see a lot of 3 wide in this race, especially early on in the back of the field. Just have to see how well they can manage it here. It's a very tight racetrack here for the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Not a lot of room around these corners, so they have to be careful not to get involved in an accident. Memphis Fisher is second, but under fire there from Will Parrish in the 0-2. You got Ethan Lewis there, third in points coming into this race, right there in the fourth position. And then Shane Lake, who was dominant early on at Texas World, led the most laps in the BC Rich Guitars 250. He's inside the top five, but there's a pole sitter trying to get back inside the top five. Noah Clifton with a move to the inside of Shane Lake. Igor Barreto right there behind him. Brad Stover, and already Sebastian Kukulon started kind of midway through the field in this race, has already found himself inside the top 10 here on lap 4 of 34. Nicholas Amadeo there just outside the top, or just inside the top 10, I should say. Great run there for him as he's had a tough season here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series season number 8. And remember when we used the old Charlotte Motor Speedway, he's the only driver who ever hit that glitch off the second dog leg on the front stretch. He's the only guy to ever do it on this channel. It happened all the time on all these other leagues when all these other leagues used that old 2011 Charlotte track. It only happened once on this channel, and it was this guy in this truck. In this race. But we use a newer version of the Charlotte Motor Speedway now, so that does not happen anymore, thankfully. Great version here, the 2018 BBMC version. Absolutely love this track. One of my favorite tracks in the game. Ryan Kinghart is ready to go. He is pulled out to a half a second lead already on the field. Memphis Fisher holding these guys behind him. He wants a good run here in this series. And you got Will Parrish there in the 0-2 to the inside for the third position. Igor Barreto with a great run right now. Barreto's had a solid season so far, even though he's 16th in points. He's been up front in a couple of these races so far this season, contending for some race victories. Nicholas Amadeo moving up to the 8th position there. Shane Lake up to 9th. Great run there for John Andrews. He started there inside the top 10, and he's still holding on to a top 12 run right now, right there in 11th. Nathan Stapleton, Josh Williamson right there. There's Allison Rain, the Texas winner. Eric Drew second in points after the issue he had at Texas World, getting wrecked on the pit lane. Currently sits in the 17th, now 16th position here. And then our last winner, Laura Chung, is right there as well. So our last two winners there right on each other there midway through the field. And a gaggle of cars right here, or gaggle of trucks, I should say, as they have gotten around Memphis Fisher and open up the floodgates for everyone behind him. You got Ethan Lewis there trying to make a move. Agar Brito to the inside of Will Parrish. Brad Stover right there in the 45 trying to get around him. The 32 lost a ton of ground right there as he got stuck in that outside lane. Comes Noah Clifton, Nicholas Amadeo on that inside lane. Nathan Stapleton, I should say, in the 40 machine as well. Stuck in that outside lane, when you build all those guys up behind you, you are going to fall back quite a bit. Ethan Lewis now has his eyes set on the race leader, Ryan Kinghart. A lot of races this season have seen one driver kind of dominate, but we've yet to see the dominant guy in any of these races yet this season get the race victory. Kinghart at Bristol was also one of those dominant guys and did not get the race victory. It's been 3 races in a row for Kinghart where he has been up front and could have easily won the race. This guy could easily have 4 wins already this season. And he sits 11th in points, 51 points behind the points leader, Sebastian Kukulon. And he has not run like that as well at all this season. Best average starting position of the season, the 5.33 coming into this race. Of course, that is not including this event here tonight, but still. Ryan Kinghart has been lights out, but he's also been getting wrecked, and that has not helped his cause this season here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. Ethan Lewis, though, does not want him to pull away in this race. He wants an opportunity at the race victory. Brad Stover, Sebastian Kukulon, those are 2 strong guys I think we're going to see this season as well, and they're going to have a great opportunity in this one, too. Will Parrish was another one of those guys up front at Bristol and ended up getting caught way behind in that one. He had an issue on the pit lane. Nicholas Amadeo moving up here to the inside of Igor Brito. That is for the 6th position, I do believe, as Will Parrish takes 5th away from the 91, and Amadeo has the inside lane on Brito for that position right there. These guys have moved up a little bit. Allison Rain, Laura Chung, Eric Drew, they've all gotten around John Andrews, and they sit 12th, 13th, and 14th, respectively. So, 3 gals and guys who I think are all going to be contenders for this championship this season. John Hayter's down in 15th. You got Shane Lake back in there. Reggie Fogelman in a battle there with Juan Rodriguez. Or outside pole sitter Derek Hamill's falling to midway through the field there. Take a look through the rest of the field. Owen Miles had a really good run at Texas World after starting dead last in that race. I believe he got a top 10 finish in that caution-free event that we had last week. Ryan Kinghart has led every lap so far, and he's looking for another bonus point here. Kukulon looking to take second, and this is a guy who is bound to win a race at some point this season. He has been up front at so many of these events, and obviously the points leader has been the most consistent driver this season. Had a great run at Texas World last weekend, but could not pull it off there as pit strategy did not go in his favor. But he's another one of those guys who I feel like a lot of guys might have their eyes on Ryan Kinghart for this championship, but with all the issues Kinghart has had this early part of the season, they don't want him to gain on the ground that they've already made up. Kukulon definitely has the advantage on the field, an 18-point lead coming into this event here tonight. If he can keep that up, another great run here tonight could definitely solidify his opportunity at a championship here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. He might be closing in here on Ryan Kinghart as well. We'll have to see how well he can close in before the cycle of pit stops begin. We may also see some strategy play out for these guys, whereas then again, the cycle is pretty much right in the middle of a run, so once they make their pit stop, they're still going to have a good 2/3 of a full fuel run left to go in this race before it closes out. So keep that in mind. It's not like it was at Texas World where these guys came down right near the end of the race. There's still going to be a bit of time left in this one once we get through our cycle of pit stops here tonight. Eric Drew on Laura Chung. These are two guys who have been up front quite a bit this season. Eric Drew is also yet to win a race this season in the 22 machine. He's got to run to the inside of Laura Chung there, back in the field for the 13th position. These guys have kind of solidified their spots in the grid right now. It's pretty well spread out here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, and maybe with the exception of the back of the field, everyone kind of has space between them and the next guy, which will make this cycle of green flag pit stops hopefully nice and clean. We're halfway now through the K&N 200 already. These races definitely are much shorter than some of the other races that we have on the circuit. One of the shorter races that we will have this season here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series at only 51 miles here around the Charlotte Motor Speedway here tonight. Ryan Kinghart doing an excellent job. He's led every lap so far, and Sebastian Kukulon, however, looking to close right in. It's now down to a half a second for the 98 machine. Brad Stover holds on the third. Ethan Lewis is fourth. Will Parrish, Nicholas Samadio, the top six. Battle between Stapleton and Clifton for the 7th position. Memphis Fisher holding on to a top 10 run, and then Igor Brodo, the last driver, inside the top 10. And don't look now, here come Eric Drew and Laura Chung. Laura Chung going for her 3rd win of the season here. She won at the Atlanta Motor Speedway and then at Texas World. Whereas both of those tracks held very similar qualities, a very pretty much super speedway-like track where the guys were wide open, but kind of all in a single file line, and Laura Chung definitely mastered those tracks, and I don't think we really have any other tracks like that this season for these guys where they're pretty much all in a line, but Laura Chung definitely has shown a lot of strength elsewhere here as, that's a very edgy entry for Noah Clifton. We'll have to see if they penalize him for that right there. That is not good for the driver, the number 24, if they do penalize him, because he had a good run going for him. 4th in points coming into this race. And like I said, this is a very tight pit lane here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway as these guys begin their green flag cycle. Clifton was the first guy down. Stover also down as well. And then you had Memphis Fisher in. Get really tight on this pit lane with these guys. And you see just how little room these guys actually have in their pit stalls. Definitely going to be interesting to see if there's any contact between any of these drivers on the pit lane. Rest of the field coming down right here. And this is really going to get interesting because you have race leaders coming in. Sebastian Kukulon gets into his pit stall cleanly. And Ryan Kinghart in the 98 looks like he'll get into his pit stall cleanly. So that's good news there. And I believe they penalized Noah Clifton for that unsafe entry because he's still on the pit lane there. and he's going to fall back. Tough break for our pole sitter in this event. Brad Stover got off first of those guys. Then Ethan Lewis, Memphis Fisher, Allison Rain, and Will Parrish. The top 5 off of the guys who came down the first go-around. Clifton finally coming off the pit lane, but Sebastian Kukulon has surpassed the 98 of Ryan Kingart on the pit lane, and Kukulon may inherit this race lead. But where is this 45 of Brad Stover coming? He's going to be close here, but I don't think he's going to quite have the speed on Kukulon here. He might. Brad Stover's going to give a fight here to this 75, but I don't know if Kingart's going to get the win. Ethan Lewis on the outside of the 98 there for what will provisionally be the 3rd position. Lewis is going to take that away. He's got it. And Brad Stover right there all over the back bumper of Sebastian Kukulon. He's got a nose to the inside for the race lead. Not enough. Kukulon holds that outside lane to his advantage, but it's going to be a tight one between these 4 drivers in this event, I do believe. One of these 4 guys more than likely going to get the race victory. Juan Rodriguez lap down in the 44, and then Noah Clifton on the tail end of the lead lap currently. Everybody else still on the lead lap. Nice clean sequence there on the pit lane as we're coming to 10 laps to go here in the K&N 200 at Charlotte. So Sebastian Kukulon in the 75 leads the field here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Brad Stover in second, trying to close in, but that 45 getting a bit of a pull there from the 24. It's 10 to go at Charlotte. Ryan Kingart looking on the 4 machine of Ethan Lewis. Brad Stover now trying to get around the 24 of Noah Clifton here. And Kingart has a run to the inside of Lewis for the 3rd position. Ryan Kingart going to try to take it away. Looks like he's got it. 98 looking really fast. We'll have to see if these guys close in. They're 3 seconds off. Nathan Stapleton, Memphis Fisher, Allison Rain, Nicholas Samadeo, Laura Chung inside the top 10, and so is Eric Drew. Really, the only driver that lost any ground was Noah Clifton, and that was a very tough break for Clifton, who started on the pole for this race, and that he should not have come down the pit lane. Got that penalty for the unsafe entry, and see what happened to him right there. Gearbox issue for Caleb Rose, number 25. It's been a tough season for Caleb Rose so far here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. He will not win here tonight. So the 75 is Sebastian Kukulon trying to hold on to this race win. Brad Stover in second, and Ryan Kingart trying to close in on him here. Problem is, Clifton is up to speed. It's not like he had an issue where he has damage or anything like that, and he's just as fast as these guys, so he's a bit tough for these guys to get around right now, and he is really holding up Stover and Kingart in their attempts to close up to the 75 with Sebastian Kukulon. Ethan Lewis right there in the 4th position. He's kind of hoping something happens between these guys. Kingart to the inside of Stover. That 98 is fast, but Noah Clifton's going to make this interesting. 3 wide for second. Well, one of the guys is a lap down. Can't imagine Brad Stover's going to be too happy with that 24. That's going to open the door for Ethan Lewis to possibly take the 2nd or 3rd position away from Brad Stover, I should say. Now it's all on for the race lead. 6 laps to go here in the K&N 200. 1.38 seconds for Ryan Kingart. I don't know if it's going to happen. Our points leader, Sebastian Kukulon. Definitely one of the fastest drivers out here. He started deep in the field. Let me see where he actually started for this race. I'm pretty sure he started 21st here tonight. And he started 19th. So it was close. He started 19th. But he started in the second half of the field. Made his way through 18 trucks before the cycle of pit stops. Actually went through 17 trucks before the cycle of pit stops, I should say. Then came down the pit lane, grabbed the advantage on the pit lane ahead of Ryan Kingart. And now he's en route to his first win of the season here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. Sebastian Kukulon, definitely one of the highly experienced drivers in this field. And no surprise to see him do well. But of course, with the ratings in play, you know, you're seeing different guys kind of run up front consistently. Something that we might see heading into the next season, next series that we do here in a couple of months. Hint, hint. I mean, I've been kind of... It's kind of obvious what it is, but, like, I haven't had the time to really formulate and put together anything nice for you guys. And there are still some little minor tweaks that I'm trying to figure out with it. I want it to be a very good series. And I want to enjoy it and not feel like I am chored by it. I don't want it to feel like a chore. Stapleton looking for fourth on Ethan Lewis. Only going to be 2 laps to go. Next time by here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway for Sebastian Kukulon. Told you guys it was going to be a fast race. These guys don't like to waste their time in their Turkey Hill Truck Series events. And then looks like another caution-free race for these guys as well, which is nice to see. It's 2 in a row for these guys. Obviously, Bristol wasn't caution-free, and then Texas happened. But a nice one here tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. A race that was just a normal race, basically, that just played out. And, you know, outside of that penalty for Noah Clifton, it has been one of the cleanest races we have had all season. And definitely excited to see how the points are going to shake out after Sebastian Kukulon more than likely takes the checkered flag here at Charlotte. White flag in the air for Kukulon. Ryan Kingard is a little too far behind, and yet another one that slipped away from the 98. But at least he'll still get some points out of this one, unlike the past couple of races for him. But he's not going to gain on the points leader because the points leader's going to get the race win. Sebastian Kukulon wins the K&N 200 here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Kingard in second, Stover in third, Ethan Lewis, Nathan Stapleton, Memphis Fisher, Laura Chung all the way up to 7th, Nicholas Samadillo, Allison Rain, and Eric Drew. Top 10, and a lot of familiar faces inside that top 10, and I think we're going to see a lot of those faces inside the top 10 for a lot of these races this season. Sebastian Kukulon, clearly the fastest truck of the night here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, and he earned that one on the pit lane and on the racetrack as well. And definitely excited to see what his gap's going to be. I mean, the guy who was right behind him, Eric Drew, finished 10th. Then Ethan Lewis was 3rd, finished 4th. Clifton's going to fall back quite a bit, but you'll see how those points shake out once we are complete here. Sebastian Kukulon, Ryan Kingard, Brad Stover, the podium here at Charlotte. Take a look at the rest of the results right there. And Noah Clifton, really the only main loser here tonight of all those guys who were up front. He came down the pit lane, missed the commitment cone, and they made sure he got a penalty for that. Finished a lap down. Juan Rodriguez also finished a lap down. And Caleb Rose had a gearbox issue in the 25. Tough break for him. But everyone else finished on the lead lap. Nice clean race here from Charlotte. Have to see how next week goes from the Rockingham Speedway. Excited to see how that one goes because that's still kind of an intermediate track, essentially. But it also plays a little bit like a short track at times, especially with the way the tire wear plays there. So I like Darlington, actually, in my opinion, the way that track plays out. 50 laps next weekend. Go to a Saturday afternoon race, and the Cheerwine 200 should be a great one there for those guys. And then the weekend after that, it's Watkins Glen. That's a huge wild card for these guys. We'll have to see how that affects the championship as well. But Sebastian Kukulon gets it done here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. We'll see how these points shake up here in just a moment. Thank you guys so much for watching here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Nice little cozy race on this Friday night. And yeah. So Sebastian Kukulon gets it done here in the 7th race of the season as the points leader. Going to extend that points lead heading into Rockingham next weekend. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. Congratulations to Sebastian Kukulon, your race winner here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. We'll see you guys next weekend for the Cheerwine 200 from the Rockingham Speedway. I will see you guys later.